you knew the family really well. So would that include her sister Anna?
Yes.
And would that include her mother?
Yes.
What's her mother's name?
I call her Nona. That's
Okay.
just grandma in Italian, but it's Filomena.
And then the girls, you're close with the girls?
Yes.
So you referred to them then in a July 2017 interview with the defense investigator and the defense attorneys as you refer to yourself as their second mother. Is that how you feel?
Yes, at times.
Okay, so that's a fair statement. That was after the defendant was arrested.
Yeah, I care about those girls. Yes.
Did you consider yourself their second mother?
A good friend. Maybe, I don't know if I used that word. I don't remember using that word.
Okay.
Maybe I did. I don't remember it. But
Would you like me to
no,
refresh?
I feel very close to them. So maybe I did say that.
So coming back, okay. So the girls lived with you then after the defendant was arrested for a short period of time.
No, they did not. They never lived with me.
Did you tell the defense investigators, as well as the investigators in your February 24th interview, that they lived with you for a few days after?
They stayed with me a couple of days, yes.
Okay. And then at some point you and your husband rented a house to the girls?
Correct.
Okay, and when was that?
They moved out in September of last year, and I think they were there 3 years.
September of last year?
They moved out from that house.
Oh, they've been in your house for how long?
So 3 years back from that.
Okay. Was there a period of time when they stayed with you, lived somewhere else, then moved into your rental?
Yes, they moved out of that Sementilli house to an apartment, and then from the apartment they moved to our rental house.
Okay. Now, during the course of this case, though, have you ever visited the defendant at any point? Did you ever visit her in custody?
No.
Did you ever talk to her on the phone?
I think once.
And is that when she called the house when the girls were staying
Yes.
with you for a few days?
Yes.
So that's the only time that you communicated with her in the past 8 years?
Yeah, I think she called one other time, but her family was at my house that day. So I think I answered the phone and I handed it to Filomena or Anna or somebody else, or the girls. I don't remember. I didn't really speak to her.
Is there any reason why over the course of 8 years you haven't visited or spoken with the defendant?
Yes, I can't do it. It's too painful. It reminds me of Fab, and I can't do it.
Is it, okay. The home security system, are you aware that they had a home security system in their home prior to the murder?
Yes.
And are you also aware they upgraded the system shortly before, well, not shortly, 6 months or so before?
Yes, because the cameras in the kitchen, it was a different monitor.
A new monitor.
A new monitor.
After the murder, did you talk to the defendant about the fact that the DVR was missing?
I'm sorry, after the murder?
Yes.
I think that morning that we went back to the house, I think the detectives, as we were walking through the house, I think they pointed it out because the monitor wasn't on anymore.
And what I'm getting at is you were aware that whoever had entered the house and murdered Fabio most likely had stolen the DVR system and it was missing. You knew that.
Correct.
And you knew that the police were trying to get information about that DVR system, correct?
Correct.
And you knew that Monica was the person who actually had it installed and was there and met with them, correct?
I don't know who set that up.
Did you ever talk to the defendant about it?
I think I did vaguely.
Well, weren't you concerned? You said you were trying everything to find out who did this and help
Right.
the police. Wouldn't that be a key piece of evidence that you wanted to help get some information on?
Yes, but it was missing.
Right. So you knew that the police were looking for anything related to that system, whether it be the name of the company, paperwork, anything of that nature.
Yes.
And did you encourage the defendant to look for paperwork or look for information to provide to the police on that?
Yes.
Do you know if she ever provided anything?
I do not know.
And in fact, you knew that there was a folder, you told the police there was a folder, correct, with a lot of the DVR information in it that you were looking for.
Yes, when they moved into that house, the previous owners had a folder, and they had all this information about the house. So I thought maybe it was in there. I wasn't thinking that it was a new DVR at that moment.
Did you ever find that folder?
No.
Is that the folder you looked for with her sister Anna?
I think so.
And did you tell Monica or the defendant at some point that she really needed to replace it for security purposes?
I did.
And to your knowledge, did she ever replace that security system?
I don't recall that she did.
You actually made efforts for security of the house, correct? You and your husband came in and changed the locks while she was in Toronto.
No, the locks were changed. I think she was still home when the locks were changed.
Was that at your doing?
It was just a conversation we had, and my husband said that he would take care of that for her.
Okay. Now, you testified that the defendant started going to LA Fitness. Was it about, how long before the murder do you think?
I mean, I'm not sure, but I think that year, 2016, is when she started at some point. It could have been earlier or a little later. I just remember that year that she was very into the gym.
Did you know, and you testified that you met some of those people from the gym, but they weren't, you didn't really know them, you just had met them, is that correct?
I only had seen Faye. She was from the gym. I saw her at New Year's. I left New Year's very early, and she was walking in as I was leaving.
Did you tell the police then about Faye? You told the police about Faye in your February 2014 interview, correct?
Yes.
And you told the police that you did not like her.
Yeah, she just had a weird vibe when she walked in. It was just...
Well, did you tell the police that there's this Faye woman, she came with her husband, I think she was a Persian lady. I really did not like her because she walked up to me and my husband and goes, "Oh, who are you?" And I say, "We're family and we've been with them, who are you?"
I didn't say to her, but
Okay,
I probably said, like, "Who are you? Why are you saying that to me? Because you're the first time I've ever seen her in this house."
Yeah, I guess my question is, did you tell the police that?
I don't recall. I might have made a joke saying, I felt like saying, "Who are you?" But I didn't say that to her.
Would you like to see a transcript?
No, I remember.
You remember saying that?
Yeah, but I know it was more in a jest, like, "Who are you?" Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be malicious. That's what you told the police.
Correct.
Okay. And in your February 21 phone call to the police, you called her a dumb Persian Faye.
When was this?
February 21 in a phone call to Detective Parshall, you referred to Faye as a dumb Persian.
Yeah, she came to the house a few times after and was sort of bossy and like trying to take charge of something when she didn't know any of us.
Okay. And then you also referred to her, you assumed it was her husband, as a short Persian dude.
Yes, it was just a man she was with, I don't know.
Okay. But that's the terms that you used to refer to Faye. So it's fair to say you didn't like Faye.
I didn't, no, I don't think I did.
Okay. You met her at the New Year's Eve party then. Who else was there?
There was a lot of people. Ernie was there. Mm-hmm. Fab's friend Ernie was there. Anna and Grant was there, and her children.
Is Grant Anna's husband?
Yes. And there were just a bunch of different people there.
Do you know Elise Bloom?
I do, yes, I do know who she is.
Was she at the New Year's Eve party?
I don't recall.
She was another friend. When did you first meet her, if you recall?
I felt like I met her the first time the night of the murder.
And is that when you called, you told Detective Parshall that she had a big mouth?
Yes.
Okay. And she came with a man named Barry.
Yes.
And you told Detective Parshall in your February 14th interview that he was creepy.
Yes.
So you didn't like Elise and Barry either?
Well, I didn't mind Elise, and I didn't mind Barry. Elise was just the only person out of everybody that walked in and out of the house after the murder. She was the only one that walked out and talked to the news reporters. And I thought that was not cool of her to do that.
All right, and your February 21 call, you also said Elise was a wacky girl who's probably 45, 50 and dresses like she's 22.
Yep.
Again, to object as to relevance.
And again, in another interview, you referred to her again as a big mouth.
Yes.
Okay. And then her boyfriend, Barry, who you called creepy, you called creepy again in a February 21 call to Detective Parshaw, and a boring, short Jew with gray hair.
Yep.
Those are the terms you used for them.
If it says, I probably said that.
Now, Barry, you also, at one point, pointed the detectives at as you thinking that he might be involved in the murder. Is that right?
Yes.
Why did you think that?
Because the picture that I saw of the two guys coming up, they looked short, and Barry is short.
So because they looked short,
Yeah,
you
I
thought
said-
it was Barry.
Yeah, and I remember saying to Parshall that I don't necessarily think he did it, but just look into him because he does have a short stature.
Okay. Now, at the gym, there's also Matt. You referred to Matt. You had met Matt, or you just knew about Matt?
I just knew about Matt.
Did you know that the defendant had propositioned him to have an affair with her?
I think Beth Silverman told me that.
Did you know that independently of ever talking to the district attorney?
No, I did not.
Did you know that the defendant told Matt Nurse that she was unhappy in her marriage?
I did not know that.
Rob Baker, you first met him then when?
At the wake, well, I didn't meet him. I saw him January 29th, I think it was, that Sunday, at the house.
At the memorial in the backyard?
Correct.
And you referred to him as the douchebag.
Correct.
So you told the detectives then that these gym friends, you did not like her gym friends.
Well, I wasn't really sure of who they were.
Okay.
I didn't meet them. It was sort of, they were in the background.
When you spoke to Detective Parshaw, you called him approximately, you had an interview at your house one time, is that correct?
Yes.
And then you also had phone calls. You initiated phone calls to him 5, 6, 7 times based on, as you testified, information you're trying to get the case solved.
Correct.
And when you did, you referred to them routinely as gym rat people.
Yep.
That's how you felt?
Yep.
They were gym rats.
Because I didn't know who they were.
Okay. But you didn't say gym people like you did on your direct testimony yesterday. You called them gym rats.
Well,
to
I
the
called them
detective.
both, gym people and gym rats.
Okay. You started suspecting that the defendant was having an affair. Yesterday, I believe you said, well, you tell us. When did you first start suspecting?
It was in the summer of 2016.
And that was because her behavior changed because the defendant was going to the gym?
She was going to the gym a lot. She was dressing up. She just had a different vibe.
And you confronted her then around June 2016.
Honestly, I know it was the summer for a fact.
Okay.
Because we were going to go swimming, and I feel like it was towards the end of the summer. So maybe I said it was June, but it could have been July, August. It was towards the end of the summer.
That year in 2017, if you testified at the grand jury that it was June 2016 when you confronted her, would that be accurate?
It was June, July. I probably didn't. I said the summer. Maybe I just said June. I thought of June as the summer, but it was towards the end of the summer. I do remember that.
And she responded to you, no, are you crazy? I wouldn't want to have that mess. So she denied it.
Yes.
She lied to you.
Yes.
But did you know she was lying?
I had a feeling.
Okay. But you never asked her again about it. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, you testified about finding out that Rob Baker had slept over at her house around that same time frame. Is that correct?
Yes, but I'm not sure when he did sleep over.
All right.
That I'm not sure about.
Your testimony was that Jessica, her daughter, told a mutual friend, and that friend told you.
Yes.
And when you called the detectives or interviewed with them on February 14th, you told them about this conversation.
Yes.
And you referred to Jessica as a blabbermouth.
Yes.
In fact, then you went on to say she's a very big blabbermouth.
Yes.
Is that how you feel?
Yeah, at the time, yes.
And you told the detectives that when you found out about this, that Rob Baker had slept over that night, that you had known about it for months.
You said this is February?
Your February 14th
So I known about it.
interview?
Yeah, yes,
So you had known that this had happened months prior, you just don't know when he slept over.
correct.
Did you tell anyone what you knew about Rob Baker sleeping over at the house?
I think I told Parshall, Detective Parshall.
In your February 14th interview, correct?
Yes.
Did you tell her sister, Anna?
No, I did not.
And at that point, you knew who Rob Baker was.
Well, I knew who Rob Baker was because I had heard his name, so I knew he was a racquetball coach. And then when I saw him at the memorial, then it all clicked who he was.
And you told the detectives that you thought it was the douchebag Rob.
Yes.
All right. So, again, did you I forget what you just said. Did you say you told Anna or you didn't?
I did not.
Okay, in your February 14th interview to Detective Parshall, you said, I spilled the beans and told Anna. Does that ring a bell?
No, I don't. I might have said to Anna, I think your sister's having an affair, but I don't think I ever said Rob spent the night.
Okay. So when you said I spilled the beans and told Anna, it wasn't in regard to sleeping over, it was just the affair. So you told Anna, regardless of what
Well, I
the
said,
topic.
I tell her, I said, I think that Monica's having an affair, or she has a boyfriend or something to that matter.
Okay. So if it's in direct line with Rob sleeping over, in the transcript in your interview on February 14th about finding out Rob had slept over, and then you said, I said something to Anna. I finally spilled the beans. I told Anna, and she goes, Rob doesn't drink. And I'm like, what? Because they were drinking. And I think she had, and then you went on to talk about something else.
Oh.
So you were talking about Rob.
Oh, I guess I was, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes, because Anna said he didn't drink, and when I heard the story about him sleeping over, that they were drinking and he threw up and he stayed over.
So Anna knew about
So-
Rob being in her bed months before as well.
I don't know if I was specific and said he was in her bed. I think I probably said, I think Rob was over and he threw up. I don't think I gave her that much information. But yes, I did say something.
And again, you knew that Fabio was out of town.
Well, I assumed he was out of town that time.
All right. Now, at that point, Anna told you that she knew who Rob was because she had played racquetball with him.
Yes,
Okay. So you guys were talking about the same person.
yes.
You never confronted Monica about this, that Rob Baker had been in her bed at her house and her daughter had found him?
No, I never did.
Is there any reason why?
I didn't want to break the trust that I found out from Jessica telling somebody, and I didn't want to say anything to Monica.
But this is one of your closest friends, and you have now found out that your thoughts of her having an affair have been most likely validated, and you didn't bring it up?
No, because she already said she wasn't having the affair, so I didn't want to ask her again. She'd probably give me the same answer.
Now, did you ever tell Fabio about this?
Not about the spending the night thing.
What did you tell Fabio?
I said to Fabio, you need to watch her gym friends. And he said, Big Fabio, Dad, you think so? And I said, I do think so.
Yesterday, prior to that testimony, you made a statement about, I told Fabio about it. So you never told Fabio anything about your suspicions about her having an affair with Rob Baker?
No.
You gave Fabio a general warning, watch those racquetball friends.
Yes.
Okay. Now, knowing what's going on in this marriage that you had perceived to be a good marriage, did you discuss this with your husband?
I think I did.
And your husband was really good friends with Fabio.
Yes.
But at no point, knowing what you know, did you ever talk to your good friend Monica or warn Fabio?
Well, we had no proof that she was having the affair. Just because I have a gut feeling, I had no proof.
This is after you found out Rob Baker had spent the night.
Right, and that was told to me as other people were there. It was a gym friend hanging out in the backyard kind of thing. So I took it as there was other people there. So I didn't say anything to Fab because I couldn't say anything until I really, really knew.
The day of the murder, then, you testified here that you had Jessica come babysit your son, correct?
Yes.
And I believe on direct exam, you testified that you believe it was a last-minute thing that Monday.
I just don't remember.
Well, back in September of 2017, when you interviewed with the defense attorney, you said that you asked her to babysit on the previous Friday night.
Objection.
Okay, again, September 7th, 2017, then, you told the defense investigators in your interview that Jessica had babysat for you on that Friday before the murder. The murder was Monday. And at that time, you asked her to babysit Monday.
I don't remember.
Would you like to see the report?
No, I mean, I believe that it's in there, but I don't remember if I told her that Friday or that Monday. And the reason being because past, it would be sort of a last minute thing, because if my kid was upset or sick or something, then I wouldn't have Jessica come over just to run an errand.
I understand that. And you're testifying 8 years later, but this was September 7th of 2017. You believe your memory is a little fresher back then.
I may have told her that day, and I may have told her that Monday.
Okay. I guess my question is, you told the defense investigators that on that Friday you asked her to babysit Monday.
That may be true or that may not be true.
Okay, well, I'll let you look at your report since you don't seem to...
Objection. She's not asking to be refreshed.
Yeah, I'm not asking to be refreshed. I understand what that says because I've read that.
Objection, non-responsive.
I'm not allowed the report to be shown.
Number 11?
It says that I believe that during that time I asked Jessica.
Okay.
So that could be true, it could not be true. I don't remember exactly.
Then, in your interview with Parshall, you said that Jessica got there around 3:50 and you ran errands, and then you got a call from Bella. Were you out running errands at that point?
I was actually driving home when she called me.
You got a call from Bella while you were out and you went directly to the house?
Yes.
So you didn't stop at home first?
No.
And that call from Bella was 5:03, 5:04, and she said to get over here.
Yes.
What you testified to. Now, when you got there then, you entered immediately, went into the house to the open garage door, is that correct?
Correct.
And Monica and Bella were at the dining room table.
Yes.
And when you testified at the grand jury, you said that Monica was yelling, "They killed him."
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They killed him.
She said a couple different things. She said they killed him, somebody killed him, they took the car, she used both of those words.
Okay, so in the grand jury in 2017, you only said they killed him, right?
I don't know.
You need to look at the grand
Sure,
jury. Okay.
that'd be great.
So it's grand jury, page 272. I'm sorry, it's 274, line 23 through 27.
Yes, it says here somebody killed him.
Okay. So you said she was screaming, crying. They killed him. The question was they. The answer was yes. Your answer, yes, they killed him. And then I think she said somebody killed him, and then she was yelling, "His car is gone."
Yes, but you missed that sentence where it said
I just read it.
somebody.
I just read that.
Okay.
Okay. So, and then again, in your interview with the defense attorneys, on July 7th, 2015, you told them that she told you they took his car.
Yes.
Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay. Regarding the life insurance conversation, in your February 14th interview with Detective Parshall, you told him that Monica told you, call his son, tell his son, don't worry, I'm going to give him his watch. Does that sound right?
Yes. Something about the watch. Yes.
And this is hours after Fabio's brutally murdered in the backyard.
I don't remember when she said that about the watch.
Okay, well, you said Monica told him to call him and tell him this.
Yes, but I don't know if it was that night or that was a different day.
And then you told the detectives this is the night of the murder that the detectives are asking you about, February 14th interview. She said, tell him, don't worry, there's a lot of insurance policies.
She did not say that.
All right. So did you tell the detectives that then in your February 14th interview?
I guess I said that, but that's not what she said. She said Fab took care of him. Tell Luigi he can go to university. Fab took care of you. I'm the one who knew about the life insurance for Luigi.
All right. The question is, did you tell the police that statement?
If you're reading it correctly, then I must have said something like that.
Okay. So you told the police that Monica told you to tell Luigi, don't worry, there's a lot of insurance policies. That's what you told the police on your February 14th interview.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
I shouldn't have said that because that wasn't true.
Okay. You did not call Luigi, though. Jessica called and then handed you the phone. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
And your testimony is that you did not have any conversation with Luigi about you have insurance coming and you need to give some of your money to Monica and the girls.
Never.
You never had that conversation with him.
Never.
Did Monica then ask you to call Wella the night of the murder?
No.
But in your grand jury testimony, you testified the opposite. You actually testified at your grand jury that Monica did tell you to call Wella the night of the murder. You said yes. Right?
That's what I said on the grand jury.
But so that you were under oath then, and that's what you testified to, but now you're changing your story?
I'm not changing my story. That night was a very big blur, and Monica was not saying much at all. She was just talking about the girls and Luigi and what is she going to do, and I took the initiative to call. She didn't tell me to go call them, and I didn't even call Sal. I think I had just texted Sal. I don't remember calling Sal that night. I think I texted him.
In the grand jury testimony, did you testify that Monica told you to call about the insurance?
Yes.
Also regarding Henry Meyer, did you have conversations with him about life insurance?
I did not.
At the grand jury, did you testify that you had at least 2 conversations with Henry Meyer about life insurance?
I had conversations with him, but not about life insurance. I had met him for the first time the night of the murder, and I think I saw him at the that 29th at the house. I know that Sal had said, talk to Henry, and I gave that information to Anna.
Did you tell or testify at the grand jury, I guess is my question, that you had at least 2 conversations with Henry Meyer about life insurance?
I had conversations, 2 conversations with Henry, but not about life insurance. We were at the party and at the day of the death.
Did you testify at the grand jury that you did?
I don't know.
Would you like to look at the grand
Sure.
jury? And also, was it based on Monica asking?
No, Monica didn't ask me. Monica wasn't even speaking in complete sentences.
Did you testify, well, I'm going to have you review, did you testify at the grand jury that all those conversations were based on an inquiry by Monica, and your answer was yes?
Monica wasn't saying call. Monica was like, what do I do? What do I do? And I took the initiative to call.
Okay. Again, did you testify at the grand jury?
I have to read that.
Okay. I'll give you page 284. You can start at the bottom and go into the next page.
It says here that not the night of the party, it wasn't pertaining to life insurance.
The topic was, were all those conversations pertaining to life insurance? And your answer were, and were all those conversations based on the inquiry by Monica? And your answer, yes.
Monica, okay, I understand.
Okay. So, again, this was, I understand your testimony now. This is just based on what you said at the grand jury.
Okay.
Is that fair?
I mean, if I said it,
Okay. This text exchange that you had then with Sal, I know defense put in the exhibit, or is it our exhibit? I don't know where it's at, but I have a, do you know where it is? The text exchange. I'll get the number because I have a copy of it. Which one is it? Is it in there? 289 maybe?
89.
Let me just make sure. Let me just look at the emails. Yeah. All right. This has already been presented to you. Exhibit 89. Again, this has already been shown to you by the defense. It's the text exchange that you had with Sal. How did you have Sal Cherry's number?
my husband had his number for some reason, and I got it from him.
Did Monica give you the number?
No.
Now, this is January, again, into the early morning hours.
Well, that time is wrong, because on my phone, I still have the text. It is 11:45 at that text. It is not 2:30 in the morning.
The time is wrong on the copy of the phone text?
This is wrong time, yes.
Okay. The night of the murder, going into the morning hours, can you guys help figure out his life insurance Monica is asking?
Correct.
That's a pretty clear statement, but you're saying now that she was not asking.
Well, if I ask Sal that, he's not going to give me any information.
I'm just asking you.
So Monica did not ask me. I asked saying she did so I could get some information to give to Monica. I was trying anything to help them to ease this stuff they had to go through.
In all your phone calls to Detective Parshall, your interviews, you've never said that until now, though, right? That it was actually you asking.
I'm sure I told him at some point. We had many
who?
conversations. Parshall.
You know all your calls are recorded and transcribed,
but
right?
I had many calls with him, and I think you only have 7 or 8 transcribed. I had many calls with him.
So in a call that we may not have, you may have said that that's actually incorrect and that it was you asking about insurance, not Monica.
Yeah, I told him that I initiated a lot. I did tell Parshall that.
But you don't know when?
No, we had at least 50 phone calls.
50?
Absolutely. I spoke to him a couple times each week.
Okay. And that was you calling him?
Both ways.
You were very involved in this case.
Absolutely.
But Monica, the defendant, never knew that you were making all these calls with Detective Parshall. You kept that from her.
Yes.
Why?
Because I felt that Rob Baker was involved.
Did you warn her?
No.
You thought he was a killer who brutally murdered her husband in her backyard where her teen daughters live, and you didn't say anything about it.
No.
Weren't you worried for the girls?
I asked Parshell, and he said they weren't coming back. The people were probably not coming back.
Well, that was in your February 14th interview when he said they probably won't come back, they're knockback burglars, and he said, but I wouldn't leave my kids home alone, and you said, well, I wouldn't leave mine either. Remember that?
Correct.
Okay, but you weren't concerned about the girls being with a potential murderer in their house with their mother.
I had no proof that he did it. It was just a gut feeling, as well as the relationship they had was a gut feeling. I had no proof.
Do you need proof to warn your friend that her friend at that point might be involved in the murder of her husband?
I do.
Okay. All right. So after this text exchange then with Sal, that was the 24th, you testify that her sister and mother arrived the next day, and then after that, on Wednesday or a day or so after that, his side of the family came, Fabio's mother, sisters, things of that nature, right?
Correct.
Now, were you familiar with both sides of the family?
Yes.
Had you traveled to Toronto and known both sides of the family?
Yes.
We're going to move to the night of the memorial that was at the house, a few days, the 29th, after Fabio was killed. You testified you went to that as well?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it was mainly close friends and family?
And work friends, a lot of work friends.
You testified then that Rob Baker showed up there. Did you testify that, or are you stating that's the first time you actually saw him in person?
Yes.
So you didn't know who he was when he first came, you just knew his name?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you also testified that you saw them walking. He was very odd, he was leaning in, things of that nature. I don't know if I'm using the right words, but there was something bizarre about him.
Yes.
And you saw them walking from the front door towards the kitchen?
Well, you can't see the front door. So coming down the 2 steps, when I first saw him, if you're going up there, that's the front door, that's the foyer, you can go upstairs that way. I don't know where they were coming from exactly. I didn't see that.
In your February 14th interview with Detective Parshall, you told the detective that the defendant was in her bedroom and he went in there.
I know that she was in her bedroom at some point. I never saw him there because you can't see anything. And coming down the steps, he could have come from many different locations.
Did you tell the detective that?
I told the detective that she was in her bedroom many times that night.
And that he went in there?
I assumed, but I did not see him.
I'm just asking if you told the detective that.
I don't think I did. I think I said something that I didn't. I remember the grand jury saying I did not see him in there. Because from my location, you can't see where they're coming from.
You told the detective, and this is February 14th, page 5, line 5, to Detective Parshall, hey, this is something weird. And then, so he sort of took her around to where no one was, and she's in her bedroom. She went in her bedroom, and then he showed up and kind of walked in there. And then the sister saw, and the sister said in Italian, get the
No. No. That's...
my question is, did you
Which...
tell...
No,
Hold
that's...
on a moment.
Okay.
I'll let you talk. Did you tell the detective that?
I don't recall.
Would you like to see the transcript?
Absolutely. What line are we talking
Line
about?
5.
Okay.
Okay. So did you tell the detective that
I
the
don't,
defendant was in the bedroom and that he went in the bedroom?
I may have said that because I can clearly see it, but I did not see him go in the bedroom. I could not see where he was from the location I was.
But you saw it in the transcript.
Yes.
So you said that to the detective.
Yes.
But now,
Well, I did not see it. I assumed he was in the bedroom because she was in that direction as well.
you interviewed with the defense counsel then in July of 2017 as well. And you testified, this is line number 13 from Mr. Dawson's interview. As Deborah walked toward the bedroom, Baker and Monica were coming out.
I never passed the kitchen dining room, so that is not correct. And on Mr. Dawson's, a few of his things, they were not correct.
They were not correct.
They were not correct. A few things that I said were not correct.
So his report that he memorialized from his notes misstates what you said.
A couple of them did, yes.
Okay. And then also when he stated that did you speak with her mother then about, that's the defendant's mother, about Baker being in the bedroom?
Yes.
Okay. And you told Mr. Dawson that Monica's mother told you, get that man out of her bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. So that happened.
Yes, she said, get him out of here.
No, that's not what I said.
But I'm saying what she said was, get him out of here.
Did you tell Mr. Dawson that Monica's mother told her to get that man out of her bedroom?
I don't recall saying that to
Did you
Mr.
see the report?
No, because I saw that the other day and a few things were not correct.
So the February 14th interview by Detective Parshall is incorrect, and the July 5th, 2017 report by Mr. Dawson is incorrect.
Well, there's more to it. They all knew where I was standing. I cannot see from the kitchen if he's coming from the bedroom, the bathroom, the front door, the upstairs.
Okay.
I assumed because I knew Monica was in her bedroom.
Did you ever see that night Mr. Baker, Rob Baker, give her a burner phone?
No.
Did she ever tell you that he gave her a burner phone?
No.
Now, it's causing quite a scene with Mr. Baker at this memorial or wake between you, his sister, Anna, and the mother. It's causing problems, correct?
I wouldn't describe it as causing problems. It was just a very odd occurrence.
Well, you witnessed the defendant's mother being really upset, right?
She was disturbed why he was there.
Well, you told detectives, again in your February 14th interview, that the defendant's mom said, I can't stand him, I'm going to tell him. Remember that?
Yes.
I can't stand that guy, I've met him before.
Yes.
So you had that conversation with his mother?
Yes, in the kitchen, yes.
Okay. But you did not, did you hear his sister say, get him the out?
Anna?
Yes.
No.
But you told Detective Parshall on your February 14th interview that when Monica was in her bedroom and he went in there, the sister Anna saw and said, get him in Italian.
I wasn't there.
Did you tell Detective Parshall that in your interview, February 14th?
I was meaning that Morella said something in Italian to Monica, get him out of here, or people are watching. So, I don't know what she exactly said in Italian.
Okay, my question is, did you tell Detective Parshall in your
It should have
February?
been. It should have been.
I need to finish my sentence. Did you tell Detective Parshall on your February 14th, 2017 interview that Anna, not Morella, we're not talking about Morella right now, Anna said to you that she told Rob Baker, get the out to him in Italian?
If I said that, but I meant Morella.
You meant Morella.
I didn't mean Anna.
You did assist Morella's help in getting Baker out of there as well, though, right?
Yes.
And what did that involve?
We just sort of walked over to them sitting on the couch to try to make a disturbance, and then we turned on the TV, and then she said something to, and she sat down and said something to Monica in Italian, and I walked out at that moment.
Okay.
But I wanted him to get off the couch and get out of there.
Did you ever hear Monica's mom tell him to when he was leaving?
No,
Did you text Elise later that night then asking what his last name was?
I did.
Okay, so you only knew him as Rob?
Yes.
And why did you text Elise asking his last name?
Because I knew if I just acted casual about it and say, oh, I think I said something, the racquetball guy, Rob, what's his last name, that she would tell me.
All right. So that night you took the photos of him because you considered him behaving suspiciously, is that correct?
Yes,
And you took pictures, you noticed the cut on his finger?
I did not.
Oh, you didn't? That was just in the photo?
Yeah, I did
Okay.
not notice that till much later. I think the detectives or someone else told me.
All right. So you took photos then, and what was the purpose, again, of you taking those photos?
Because I wanted to revisit that. I just couldn't deal with that at that moment. That wasn't the place. And I wanted to revisit and figure out who he was and what was going on with him.